So let me ask this. You said, hey, this is working or not really working. I'm curious what that means from an office standpoint. When you guys are saying things like, hey, it's not working or it is working, what metrics are you looking at? You're not just looking at ticket sales. Are you also getting merchandising reports, or what lets you know when something's working? I know online, because a lot of people on the internet still think it's 1998 and all that matters are the ratings, but there's a lot more to running a business than a television rating, because you've got all these revenue streams. So my question to you is, when you say, hey, you know what, maybe it is working a little better than we thought, what basis does that come from?
All the above, same thing. It does come from merchandise sales. It comes from ticket sales. It comes from when you are looking at quarter hours and you promote something, whether or not the audience stays with it or more tune in. You have to take it all into consideration, and a lot of it's gut. A lot of it is just feeling. It's not standing behind the curtain and making decisions. It's going out and sitting in the middle of a crowd and listening to what the audience is talking about.
So let me ask you this. In 93, you guys were breaking down quarter hours like that wasn't a Monday Night War thing? You were doing that before?
We did, yeah. We definitely looked at them. And we had them. You had it on cable. You didn't have it per se in syndication, but you had it on cable. And you could see it. We didn't live and die by the ratings by any stretch of the imagination at the time. We did. We cared about them, and we wanted to know what they were doing when
it wasn't as competitive.
It wasn't as competitive.
So
it was more a way to gauge, if I put this guy here,
what do they do?
What do they do?
What about when we're talking about ticket sales? I've always been fascinated by this. How much of that really goes on the guy with the belt? He's a great guy, personally. I like Kevin Nash a lot as a person. I think he's awesome. But people disparage his run and say, oh, he's the worst drawing champion in the history of the business, blah, blah, blah. If business is doing poorly or good, however it's doing, if Lex isn't in the top spot, how much credit does he really get for that? At that point, Yoko's the champ.
Yoko may have been. The belt doesn't mean anything. Championship doesn't mean anything. The feature, the attraction, which is usually the babyface, what's going to draw and going to sell your tickets. Who are they featuring when you look at an ad, when you listen to the promotion? Who are they coming to see? Are they coming to see that babyface win and be victorious? Are they coming to cheer that babyface on? And that's what you're looking at. And if you have somebody, whether they happen to be champion or not, and they're in the top spot and they're positioned in a way that all the advertising is behind them, they're in the main event, all the promos are drilling them, and it doesn't draw, then that's where you have to look. And again, that comes down to a feel situation too. You got to look and you got to listen to your audience every night. Some places may be better than others, but it does come down to attraction. The championship never has, never will mean anything. It's the attraction. If you have an attraction with the title, Dusty Rhodes never needed to be champion. Right. He was an attraction on his own.
Yeah, Jake Roberts didn't need to. Undertaker didn't really
Piper
need to.
Didn't. Yeah. Undertaker didn't. Andre didn't. They were attractions and they drew money. Some guys need the championship to help them draw money.
And do you think at that point the conversation or the thought internally inside the inner circle was that Lex was doing okay, but maybe that belt would help make him?
Without a doubt. Yes. Okay. But the same conversation at the same time is taking place. What if we gave Brett another chance too?
So why did Brett lose the chance the first time? This was flat and that was it?
He didn't lose the chance. We had an anomaly in Yokozuna. Yoko was different. When Yoko walked through the curtain, the audience went, oh, there was such a reaction to Yokozuna when Yoko first came out. And then when he would move in the ring, he was different. He was unique. And it wasn't, hey, Brett's blowing it, Brett's not drawing. It wasn't that. It was simply, we got something here in Yoko. Let's go with it. And maybe Brett gets it on down the line. Then Lex came along. Again, that goes back to the business being able to change, being able to adjust on the fly.